Little more than a year into the Trump presidency, but the results are already in, it seems. 170 political scholars surveyed by the New York Times ranked him the worst president of all time. Nate Silver, who once worked for the Times, though, said this: "It speaks poorly to the field of presidential scholarship that political scientists have Trump ranked the worst president of all time after only 1 year on the job. Below presidents, for example, who helped blunder us into the Civil War and the Great Depression." So who made the top 10? President Obama shot up 10 spots to number 8. President Bill Clinton slid, though, a bit from 8th down to 13th. Earlier tonight, I spoke with Bill Bennett, former education secretary and Fox News contributor. We might as well just throw in the towel, right? They've already 170 of these political scientists have already decided his fate.
Yes, but shame on you. You called them scholars, Martha. Now, come on.
I did air quotes. You might have missed it.
Okay, air quotes. Whatever, I did miss it. Whatever this is not scholarship. It is so ridiculous. That's the only word. It's beyond rhyme or reason, rationale or research. After 1 year, you know, we're in the Olympics period now. This is like everybody gets 4 jumps after his first jump, which is pretty good, his first year. That's all. He doesn't get 3 more jumps. We grade him, evaluate him, and he's out. You know, he's out. It's just nuts that Donald Trump would be behind James Buchanan, who blundered us into the Civil War, Andrew Johnson, who tried to go back on Reconstruction and tell those freed slaves they weren't freed anymore. I mean, really atrocious things as president. But this crowd puts him last. This, a message to parents, Martha, if I might. $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. Yeah. This is what you get from these so-called scholars at even the so-called best institutions. Yeah. It's a shame. It really is a shame. There used to be integrity in the academy.
Yeah, I mean, it really does blow your mind that they got 170 people to weigh in. You would think many of them would have said, well, how could we answer that question? You know, I mean, it's not as if they were asked, to measure them all on a first-year status. You know, I mean, that might be slightly, scientific or analytical to say, let's look at them all in their first year, but they didn't. As you say, Buchanan got a bit of a reprieve. President Obama went 8 points up the scale to join the top 10. Do you think historically that he belongs in the top 10?
What exactly did he do over 8 years? Obamacare, which is in tatters. President Trump, in 1 year, signed this tax bill, which has a lot of things going on, not just reduction of taxes, but other things that will stimulate the economy. He's appointed first-class federal judges, including a first-class judge in the Supreme Court. Illegal immigration at the border is down. He said he would defeat ISIS. ISIS is very much being defeated, annihilated, in the words of General Mattis. That's 1 year. But my gosh, he's got 3 more, maybe 7 more, God forbid. I don't want those 170 scholars to turn over in their beds here.
It's a long haul, and we've seen many times you take a picture of the person who takes the office on day 1 and what they look like 4 years later. It is a job that takes its toll on everybody. But if you could tell President Trump tonight what you would advise him if he wants to not that he really should, anyone I guess should care about moving up this list because it's a preposterous gathering, but if you wanted him to take advice to be in the upper echelons of the presidency of this country, what would you tell him to do in the next 3?
Well, I would tell him to listen to the people whom he trusts, get good people around you. But I think he's maturing in the job. I mean, I think he is taking a lot of incoming, and a lot of it he should ignore, but some of it he should listen to. And the job ages everyone, and in many cases matures people. And this is a very strong guy who's not going to change. He's 70 years old. But the capacity to listen, the capacity to take good counsel, the capacity perhaps to pause once in a while might not be the worst thing for him. But look, I salute the accomplishments. I know about the personal style. We're not going to do anything about the personal style. In terms of his policies, you have to give him good grades. After 1 year, and he's got at least 3 more left. Come on, judges. Give the guy his other 3 events, huh?
Exactly. You get to take that 4th jump down the half pipe, and we'll watch him do that over the course of the years. Bill Bennett, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for your time tonight, as always.
Thanks, Martha. Thanks very much.